Lady McCormick, I was hoping I could talk to you about Cal.
Of course I know.
I'm not sure if his heart is in the right place. If he were to ever switch sides, it could make Stan's army problematic for us. True, but we can't let Kyle come in the way of what's rightfully ours. Let's face it, Lady McCormick. This is really about you and me getting Xbox Ones. The others are simply there to help us get inside those doors. You have a strong influence over the rest of the men, Lady McCormick. All I'm saying is that when the time comes, I might need you to use that influence to have Kyle taken care of. Do we understand each other? Sir Kyle, I wanted to talk to you about Stan.
If you want to make sure I'm not switching sides, Cartman, you don't have to worry. Stan is wrong.
It isn't that. Princess Kenny is loved by her army, but Stan is still the nuts and balls of her operation. It would be a huge setback to the traitors getting their PlayStations if Stan were to be grounded.
Grounded for what?
That could be up to you.
No, Cartman. You said nobody would have to be grounded. We're not playing dirty.
Fine, Sir Kyle. Perhaps you're right. Did you know that Stan's dad is working a temp job as mall security?
What?
Seems a little convenient, doesn't it? Stan with somebody on the inside to help him get his PS4s. Who's playing dirty now? Let's face it, Sir Kyle. This is all about you and me getting Xboxes. The rest are simply there to help us get through those doors. Sir Stan, I was hoping I could talk to you about the wedding.
Yeah, sure, what about it?
I think it's best that when the time comes for the mall to open, you should stay back a bit from the doors.
Why?
Well, think about it. The first people inside are gonna have to take on the brunt of the holiday shoppers from the main entrance. It's best we let Butters and Scott Malkinson go first. While they fight, we can simply slip on by.
Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense, but Butters and Scott won't be able to get their PS4s.
Yes, that's true, but let's face it, Sir Stan. This is all about you and me getting PlayStations. The rest are simply there to help us get through...
He's lying to you!
Paladin Butters, I was hoping I could talk to you about Lady McCormick.
You mean Princess Kenny, my lord?
Yeah, whatever. The little prick thinks he's Daenerys Targaryen. I need to know how to deal with him. How do they deal with the Queen of Dragons in Game of Thrones?
They don't!
Well, did you finish watching Season 3 like I asked you?
Yeah, I finished it.
So what happens when the dragons show up?
Nothing! The dragons are just still on their way! They keep promising dragons, but all I get are more floppy wieners in my face!
Butters, the key to our victory is following the Game of Thrones model exactly. I have to know what happens when the dragons show up so I know how to deal with Kenny.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Here's 2 bus tickets to New Mexico. I want you to take Sir Scott Malkinson and go seek out George R.R. Martin for answers.
Who's George R.R. Martin?
He's the guy who writes Game of Thrones, Butters. He can let us both know how to handle Kenny and if we should betray Clyde or not. Let's face it, Butters. This is really about you and me getting Xboxes. The rest are simply there to help us get through those doors.